Welcome to Timberborn, the beaver city building game. I've had a quick look at this, and this actually looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got the two factions here. Iron Teeth, whose motto is work hard, work hard. And then these guys, the Folktales, is comfort, food, and sturdy wood. All good beavers like their wood. So we're just going to use the base map. I'm not going to change anything. We'll leave it on normal. And we'll go and have a look at this awesome little game. It's a bit of a different take. As you can see, buildings marked as solid, such as lodges or warehouses. You can build other structures on their roof, so we're going to see how high we can go. You can build platforms in this to get up to different levels, steps. So we'll just name our settlement, and we'll hit pause real quick, and you can have a look. The graphics on this are not bad. Kids don't really do much, but that's understandable. They do need housing, obviously, and beds. We've got trees to chop down, berries we can pick. I am going to demolish this. There it is. So that water can flow into here. So in a nutshell, up in the top left, we got all the information that you could possibly need. So here's our population, the different people, different children. They do have ages, they do die. You can change their names if you want to. There's no housing. There's two workplaces, which is the district centre. No storage, power, well-being. And then these are the districts, and we've got manual migration or automatic migration. So you can actually move from district to district, which we will get into later. So we've got 11 people. All 11 are currently homeless, and 2 work and 5 unemployed, because only the adults work. There is a tutorial which to play through. It will give you a bit of a rundown. Like I said, I have played it for a bit. Just the tutorial, so we'll get a little bit of a head start on it. And one of the first things we're going to need to do, so welcome, this tutorial will help you with all the basics of building a beaver settlement. Every new settlement needs logs. Only lumberjacks will cut trees, so place 2 lumberjack flags next to nearby trees. So this is one way. This is a lumber mill which will turn logs into planks and needs power, which we'll do later. At the flags, and what we're going to do is rotate with R, and because of the top of these steps here, we're going to put one there, get a path, and put a path in, join it up. So when we join this up to our city centre, which is the moment, they're only going to build things inside that. In order to stretch that out, we need to use paths. So another one that we are going to need is a gathering flag, and we're going to put that right there, so that when we build our path from these steps here, if we have an overhead look, and then the distance of that will cover, all of this area, and get not quite all of that, but that'll get all of that. So we can put our blueberries will get picked, and we'll bring food in. Now beavers do need food, and they do need water, otherwise they will die. So we want to put in another flag, and we want to get, I want to use this down here for farming later, so we want to get as far up here as we possibly can. And there's going to be a spot coming off of here, and we want to get as much farming in there as possible, so we might even yeah, we'll put it there. And so now what I want to do in order to get to that is demolish resources. Now one thing I haven't worked out yet is whether or not when we demolish these trees, if we'll get logs from them. And one's about to be demolished now, so you can see up here we've got no logs, but we got 130 food, so that's going good. So we've got our 2 flags. The flags will not be built unless the district's building range, which we know is this. Select the district centre to build its range and extend it by building paths. So once we put in, you can see that it stops here at this line of trees. So if we put in a path across there, now you can see it's extended a lot further. So we can extend that path up to here and they'll start cutting down all the trees. And then we can do it up here. We're going to get a little bit of a head start, and we're going to build a couple of inventors for science, because we need science in order to do things in this game. And I want to use that for growing, so we'll put an inventor there. Actually, let's put another one in. The other thing I like about this, if we pause it real quick, is we can adjust priorities. So if we lower that one, I bring that one right down. Basically that means that it's going to be built last on the priority list, and we can do other things. We can't do blueprint building, but we can assign priority lists so that things aren't built as quick as others. So you can add things in, give it a higher priority, and we should be right. I also like that we got different access points. You see that one's at the top and this one's at the bottom, so we can put 2 houses in there like that, and we can swing it around and we'll get the other houses, and we'll put 2 in there like that, and that gives me enough room in here to build stairs going up. And we can probably drop, now let's put one of these in here. Well, that I think has turned out wrong, so we'll quickly. Now the other thing that I haven't seen is whether or not you actually get anything back for removing a building. I don't think it takes anything to place one, but I also don't think that you get anything back if you destroy it. So let's put one of these in here, and we'll put one of these in here. Now they will build that, but obviously they won't use it until the paths get pathed around. Like so. So if we put construction to them and then right down low, because we've got 11 people and each house holds 3, and we've got 4 3s, which is 12, and then we can have these guys built up after this first lot, and we need to come right there so we can build steps here later. So we need to get to our lumberjack flags. We'll build a path in there, and we'll let it play out a bit for this here to be demolished. Hopefully they demolish that shortly, or that might come later. And then we'll look at expanding down towards here. So that's our housing. What else we're going to need is, we've got labour here, so we can have a hauling post. Haulers assist workers within the district in carrying goods, greatly increasing their productivity. Carrying capacity plus 100%. So now this is not solid building, so we can't build on top of it. So let's put it here, out of the way. Now the things down here, you see, needs 100. That's the builder's hut. Employs additional builders. That needs 100 science, which is what these guys are going to do when they are up and running. Now warehouses and lots, so basically storage buildings which are here. The small warehouse, you see it says solid, so other buildings can be built on top of it. So we know that we can put that in here and buildings will be built right smack bang on top of that. We also know that we can put stairs up here and stairs up there, and we can get up to the next level on this side as well, so we can build all in here. What we can do is build platforms in landscaping. We can build dams, floodgates, all that sort of stuff. In paths, we can build stairs and platforms will get you up to those different levels, as well as obviously bridges to span across. Alright, so we have cleared our way through to here, so we can come down and across, and if you have a look, now you can see our building range is greatly extended. Now with the lumberjack flags, the other thing you're going to have to do is specify a tree cutting area. We want to come right up to here, because actually no, we want to come right up to here. Now if you notice, you can just click and drag and it won't actually take anything besides the level that you're on, which is really handy. If we come across, we'll get the other side, but you'll only get the level that you're on. And what's more, it's night time, a bit hard to see, but you can see the drought line in here. So there's not much point in cutting in there, but we shall see how much of a difference it really makes. And we'll make that our logging area, and we can bring a path either straight down there or down a different side. But the other thing we need to do is think about how we're going to get over here. So we're going to need more housing. That is just a given. And we don't want to build a path up and around the top of that house because it's going to block off the stair, but we can go right up to here. Or even here. We might do it here, I think. That might work out alright. A little bit of a waste of space, but that shouldn't matter too much. And then we go in and we hit the priority down because we don't need it for a while, and we can build the path across. We will be needing a farm. In here we have a farmhouse, so you can see the depth that comes back, so this should come right up to here. But we want to build our farm down here because that gets to there. That gets to there. So our farming area is going to be down here somewhere. So we want to make sure that we get our farming area all the way down here like this. And we can swing it around and bring it in to line it up with that road above. And see how far we can get it. So we'll put a farmhouse in there. Now I won't connect that with a path just yet. We'll just bring it to there. And we'll let that sit. So it shouldn't, well, even though it's probably going to be built, it shouldn't be worked, and we can turn that off later. Another thing the tutorial is going to ask us to do is a water pump, which we've got to figure out. We could put it down here where our trees are. We could actually probably even put it in the back here. So if you have a water pump, you can see the maximum depth is 2. And if we rotate that around, so we can't put it there, but we can put it there. So that 2 meaning 1 is good enough to get down to that, and 2 we can get down all the way down to there. So we'll put our water pump in there, we'll just have to mark this resource for demolition, and you can see we still have no logs, so marking a resource for demolition will not get you any logs from that resource. So bear that in mind, that you want to cut it all down before you go destroying too much. Another thing that we're going to need, that's a warehouse, water tanks. Now we should be able to put some water tanks in here where there's a drought line and nothing's going to grow. So I'll put 3 of them there for now. That should be enough. Alright, and we'll let them sleep on the ground for tonight. As you can see, we have a look, we got 3 workers and 4 unemployed. So something is up and running and working, and it's probably going to be this gatherer's place. No, it's not. It's going to be this one here. See, the green to signify that somebody is working there, and there he is cutting down trees. So we're going to need storage for our timber, and we can always pause that off at any point. We can just go, you know what, I don't want you to work that one anymore, I want you to work something else. So we've built one of our 2 lumberjacks. So what we can do is, because, well, we're going to want a path through the back here, or at least a little step, I guess, to come down to this next level then. And we're going to definitely want more housing, because let's face it, we want our guys to expand and grow. So we'll bring it to there, and we'll go pathway. Now they can build out here. And we can knock that back. And that one back. So our 2 flags are built. Every building within an entrance must be connected to a district centre by a path, which is what we've done, except for the farm down here. And you can see that, no, they're not loading it. Be aware that the district centres have a limited range, building paths to connect the lumberjack flags to the district centre, which we have done. You can select the district centre to see, which we also just did. By selecting, you can see the paths and how far out it can go. Lumberjacks will not start working until you tell them what to do. Use the cut trees to mark an area for cutting. A lumberjack flag only cut trees within its range, so that's the range of this lumberjack flag. It's big, so we can get all of these and all of these. Having a look around the map, you see the water comes down. We know that in the future we're going to be able to get, if I can find, landscaping. So we can build dams to build up the water, floodgates, levees, double floodgates, triple floodgates to make them even higher. Explosive factory for dynamite for terraforming, so you can actually blow out the ground. And later on we can get built assistance in the name of golems, which can actually start digging dirt out, piling it up, and moving things around. So eventually in my little settlement here, I'm going to bring water around the back, and we are going to get these dead trees. So going to my timber marking cutting area, as long as I start, let's start down here, and you'll see I can go up as wide as I want. So we'll go one more all the way up to there. As long as I start up the top again, it'll only get the top, and we can do all that. So now they'll cut all of that down. And eventually, as these get water and regrow, we can cut them. Watered and alive berries. Watered and alive. So we probably need to No, doesn't look like we do. We don't need to specify the distance for this guy, but you can see it. They'll get up there and they'll get over here. And if we zoom in a bit, we should see some of the berry bushes have already been harvested. It's a seedling, it's still growing. It's watered and alive, but it's been picked. And that's watered and alive and hasn't been picked. So we've marked our trees for cutting. Beavers need water to survive. Build a water pump, which we've got going up over here, or just up the priority on that. Remember to connect it to a district center, which we have done. No, we haven't. I see an issue here, so let's just quickly mark that resource for destruction, and as soon as it's gone, we'll build a path here and our water pump will be up and running. You see the workers carrying the logs, doing the different bits and pieces. And we'll up the priority on that. Hope that someone gets it done. See, they're doing the water pump. And you can get the stats of. The other thing to keep in mind is, look at the bottom, you can see 2 of our kids have grown up. So we now got 9 adults and 2 children. So we've got extra beavers and extra workers. Alright, so our water pump is built, but it's not being productive because we need a path to it. So we just add in our path and the problem's fixed. And we've got 3 buildings, so we've got room for 9, which means 3 are unemployed and 2 out of our 11 are homeless. But looks like they're building the next one. There we go. So now no one's homeless. And as they build them up, we should get more and more free beds and grow our population. Alright, water pump is built. In addition to water, beavers also need food. Build a gather flag near some blueberry bushes, which we have already got. Gathers will automatically gather berries within the flag's range. You can see the range by selecting the flag. So all those berries except these ones down here. So we can actually, now that we know exactly where it is, and we can pause it, and we can make sure that none of the berries that we're gathering are in there. The settlement needs a stable food source. Build a farmhouse and plant and harvest crops. Really, if you're running, or you can pause some buildings. To do so, select the building, click pause button or press P. So we can pause, which we're going to do when these lumberjacks come up. So that's the farmhouse that we're building. And we know that it's got a lot of room, as does this. And we know that our tree cutting is straight down that path there. So we can use all this area in here for our farm. We should still have lots of timber, lots of logs, lots of berries. And we will actually, because our farm will utilize this, we'll actually go ahead and mark all of these resources here for removal as well. Our beavers come back to work. We should find that once these are built, these will start filling up with water. And we'll actually prioritize these above all else for the moment, because we've got plenty of housing. None are homeless. We've got 1 free bed. These don't take any workers. but they will store water, so we want to increase these and make sure they're getting built. We got 20 logs. So you can see they should be building these before anything else because they have a higher priority than everything else. They're low priority, low priority. That's the middle. That's the middle. Low. So that middle house should get built before the other two. And there we go. We have a water tank. So you can empty it. Its capacity is 30. It allows all its desired as default. Still got to play around with that, and we can adjust the amount of water that we want stored in there. You see as it goes up and down with beavers drinking. We want to make sure that this is producing plenty of water. More water than what we need would be ideal. So that's our well-being. This is our science points, which we'll get when our inventors come up. Then we got our materials list, which is where our planks will end up. The food, which we're down to 15, so it is possible that people are going to start falling off the perch because we need this workplace. We need this as a high priority to get food into our settlement. So we always need someone collecting berries, regardless. And we got 24 logs, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. That needs 12 logs. That needs another 3 logs. So even though we've got 23 logs, someone actually has to bring them. And then someone actually has to go and build it. So think of it that way. You got carters and builders. Alright. So hopefully they'll start filling up with water. There's no priority on any of this. And what have we got? Oh, we're happier than ever. We've gone up to 3. Oh, and we have a birth. So there we go. We've got an extra one. We got 4 growing up and a baby. So we got all 11 beavers. Plus we got a newborn. Alright, let's pause it quickly. Our settlement needs a stable food source. That's right, we're building our farm, which is down here. And that's still waiting for materials, which needs 25 logs, which we've nearly got enough for. And our food is still going down, which is a little bit of a worry. We can't add workers to that, so let's just and it's going up now, so we'll produce a higher priority on that. We'll get our path in, which we didn't need to go that far, so we'll just quickly delete that end one so we can use it for more food. And we will be planting crops. Now, planting crops, it's going to tell us that we need carrots. So, having a look up here, you can see there's just a little bit where it's not growing. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright. Done the farmhouse. Farmers will not start working and tell them what and where to plant. Use the plant crops tool to mark a carrot field, which is what I've just done. Crops need to be planted on irrigated land, which is the green. Otherwise, they will dry out and eventually die. Now, as you can see, this one right on the corner here, it is watered and it is alive because it did have some grass growing on it. So let's finish our 90. Which way should we go? We'll just go straight across the bottom. 100. Alright, so our farm will reach all of that, and this guy will reach, so we can actually do our split. I was going to do it right down there, but we can do it down here instead. Alright, that's 100 carrots. While all the buildings you placed have some storage, they will quickly fill up. Build a log pile to store your logs. So we're going to be harvesting more logs from this side than from the other side. So in our storage we will grab our log pile, spin it around and put that there. We have our warehouse, which is up and running. You can see everything that you can store in it. Our food is not the best, admittedly, but we will get there. Alright, so our log pile is up and running. Homes increase your beavers' well-being and allow your folktales population to grow. Build enough lodges to house all your beavers, which we've already done. The beavers will not reproduce unless there are empty slots for kits, which are kids. So we have 14 in total. Occupied beds 14. We have 4 free, and we've still got 1, 2, 3. So that's another 9 to go. So we've got plenty of room. 6 or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And see, this one in the middle was built before the other 2 because of the priority. Science points are used to unlock more buildings. Alright, build an inventor. We have our inventors. Now this one, we have 28 science. Now, at the moment we have 1 unemployed. And we have workers everywhere. So we don't need to worry about pausing any of our buildings like we were going to do. Because everybody's working. And well, we got 1 extra worker. This is starting to fill up. So we're getting some spare water, which is exactly what we want. We can always put another water pump in if we have to. We can find somewhere for that later. And we've got our carrots down. And they're growing. Excellent. We can now start producing more advanced resources, but some buildings require power to do so. This is where it starts getting fun. Build a water wheel by the shore on the river. It is dependent on the water flow, so it will stop producing energy when there is no water. So we can't build it in here, because when this floods, it won't have any flow. Now, we know we can get to there. We know we can get to there. So everywhere at the moment. Alright, so we're going to look at building it over here, because on the back end of it, when we put in our lumber mill, our lumber mill is going to go in there. So we can mark that as not high priority. And go and get our power water wheel. And we can hook that up. Then we're going to need a drive shaft, a straight drive shaft to power it. Something is not right. So let's quickly go in here and we'll delete that. And we'll delete that. And we'll delete that. And we will put our water wheel. So we need a 3 spot. Well, let's try it there and see what happens. I wonder if they can even get to it. Let's find out. Bit of experimentation. We'll see what happens. We got no food. So growing up, was born. We got 3 births. Now, normally creatures won't give birth if they don't have the resources like food to support it. There we go, we've got 3 berries again. Now, well, it is getting logs, so it can obviously be built there. We will work out what's going on with the factory, and you can see the factory automatically cleared some area out. So we want to go to the wood and build a lumber mill. And we'll just quickly pause it, and if we build a lumber mill there, why can't we get our power point? Okay, I see the issue, so we're going to delete that. Power connection is blocked. Interesting. That might not work. Let's have a look going. This way. No, it's going to have to go that way. And now if we go power. So we would need that. Which we don't have enough science points for. Okay. So our water wheel is in the wrong spot. Our factory is in the wrong spot, even though it would make beautiful sense to have it there. We need to unlock this, which is going to take 80 science points. So let's just see if in fact we can get that. We are halfway there. That is in the right spot, and we will need a path to get into here, so like that. In our crops we have carrots, sunflowers, which we will put some sunflowers in here, and we have potatoes, which we will put in here, and wheat, which we can put across the bottom, and then cattail and spaddock, which we don't have access to yet, so we'll let that go. So 4 days equals 3 carrots, 5 days equals 2 sunflowers, and when the potatoes and the wheat come up, we'll have a look at them as well, because we know that the berries take 12 days to be 100% grown, and 12 days looks like gives us 3 berries. So we'll get 3 berries every 12 days out of there. Now, plant trees and bushes. We can plant blueberries, but we need a forester. Then we can definitely go ahead and plant. Now, under food, we should have our forester. Nope. Wood. There we go. Wood. And we need 60 to unlock that. So we might actually do that before we do this, because we'll need food before we need power. And we just got to wait for this water wheel to get all of its materials. Still waiting on logs. And they're both working, so. Alright. Potatoes. 6 days for 1 potato. 6 days to grow for 1 potato. So we've got 3 carrots, 2 dandelions, sunflowers, sorry, and 1 potato. No wheat has been planted yet. and it must be in here where you can get dandelions, and you can see in there. So 12 days till the seedling becomes a plant, and then another 12 days to get 3 berries. 3 days, and then 3 days to get 1. Alright, that noise means that there is a drought on its way, and it's going to be here in 3 days, so we need to make sure that we have water, which we don't have a lot of, so we might even need another pump station. When I did the tutorial before, 1 pump station was enough to last. So let's look at putting in, and we can just pause it real quick so that we don't run out of our days before it gets here. And look at that, right where the path is, right next to everything, we can put another pump station in there, and we can make that the highest priority. And then we'll also make that as a required workstation. Because when the drought comes through, all this water is going to dry up, and then you have to wait for it to flow back past before everything grows again. 10 days to get 3 wheat. So I'm guessing that that's going to die off. 4 days, we might have made enough time for the carrots. We're not for that. And not for that. So they're probably all going to die before they get harvested. And there's no point in planting carrots now, because we know that carrots take 4 days, and the drought's going to be here very shortly. Or in less time than that, so... we need that path in there. There we go. So yeah, that is Timberborn. When we come back, we'll see the drought go through and see if our guys can survive with no food and 30 water. 26. We'll see if this gets built in time to fill up our water tanks. And 13, see, somebody's just died of hunger. So because we didn't have enough food, possibly expanded too quick, or waited too long to put this stuff down, waited too long to put somebody as a high priority on that. So make sure you use your priorities well. Make sure you think about the basic needs of your settlement first, and hopefully your numbers will go up and not down. And we just had another birth. And on that note, we'll leave it there at night time. Alright, that's Timberborn. Thanks for watching. It's been out for about a year. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll see you next time.